pond filled with probably 10,000 carp in it. So there's a lot of carp in here. There's people around us catching fish. So we're gonna see if we can get onto anything. But we're using a method feeder rig. So I'll show you how to set it up. But basically, this is your lead on the bottom, and then your line runs through here. You put bait on it. You have a tiny little hook link, and the carp come eat the bait, and you reel them in. So we'll get into the video, but we'll show you how to set this up. This little method feeder, you want this rounded off end goes. You want your main line to go through the rounded off end. So we'll stick it through here. So now it's through there. You tie this little bungee, and this kind of absorbs the head shakes of the carp. Instead of them just feeling the lead, they have a little bit of absorption, so the hook doesn't get popped out of the mouth of the fish. So on this thing, you have the big circle or O-ring. You have the small O-ring. So you want to tie your main line to the small O-ring. And I'll just do a fisherman's knot, just like that. Okay, now, once that's tied, you literally just pull the line through. Oh, it's got stuck here. One sec. So just pull it. There you go. So now when you tie your line, see how it's bungee there? And all we're using is a little hook link, like this. And I'll show you how to rig this up, but it's a little, I believe, size 6 hook. And I think that's maybe like a 4-inch hook link with 20-pound fluorocarbon on that. And all you do is you take the big O-ring here and you do a loop knot. So you run the loop knot through the O-ring, then you run this little plastic piece with the hook back through the O-ring, and then it should cinch up here. So there we go. That's kind of the rig there. You can see how it bounces, and that's all you need, just a short little hook link, because your bait's gonna be on here, and you don't want your hook bait to be too far away from the bait that's actually on the feeder. Okay, so now we will take onto this box here. This box. And we'll grab, these are the little hook baits. They're red krill scented. It's kind similar to like, it's basically like a hard piece of bread that's krill scented. And to thread this onto your hook, you use just a little, I have all these different like needles and things to thread your baits onto the hair rig. But all we're using here is this little peg here will actually hold this bait onto the hair or onto the line there. So you'll stick the bait onto the needle. You stick the needle into this little plastic bit here. It's kind of hard to do at the start. And you basically want to push the plastic piece through the bait here. And you might need to try a couple different ones, because some of them are more difficult to thread through. Yeah, this one will be easier. You just push it through like that, and then this is a little T-stop. You flatten out the T-stop, and you can see now I pull and the bait won't come off. So when the carp sucks up the bait, it will it'll suck it up, and then it'll get hooked just like that on the lip, and then you have your hooked carp, and it'll set the hook basically itself. The lead will sit on the bottom and it'll just set the hook. So that's kind of the basis of the rig. And now we'll just make the ground bait, and we should be ready to go. We're gonna use these pellets. You can see them here. They're just 3mm, basically carp pellets. I just put them in this bag. But we're gonna take maybe half this bag. I'm gonna put it in here. You know what? Maybe we'll just do that to start off. It smells kind of like fish food or something like that. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna wet it, not too wet. So we're gonna put enough water in here to where it's not slushy, but enough to where you see no excess water, but the pellets take up the water. And the special thing about these pellets is that they're actually sticky, so it'll stick together and hold on to your feeder, and that way the bait doesn't fall off when you cast it into the water. So we're just gonna put a bit of water in here, maybe that much, and just that little bit will be enough to soak into these pellets. You can see they're already getting wet. See, there's still excess water in there, so hopefully that takes it up. And then you'll start to notice they'll start sticking, and that's good because you want it to be sticky, or else it won't hold on to your onto your method feeder. So we'll let this sit. Just close the bait in here, and we'll just let it sit. Wait maybe like 2 minutes for it to soak it up, and then we should be into the fishing. I might add also a bit of this vanilla scent, but other than that, that's how simple it is to catch these carp. Now I'll show you how to pack down the bait. You can use your hands to pack this sticky bait onto the feeder, but what we're gonna use is this little bait press. So different companies will make a bait press specifically for their method feeder. Basically, you can see that the end part slits up into there. You just hold it like this. You grab your bait, you put about that much in there, and you grab the little plug here, goes on top, and you push as hard as you can, and then you should be able to push out the back end. Lift this up, and there you go. Perfect amount of bait just for the carp to pick up. And you can actually leave your hook on the top here and press it in with the bait just to keep it in the middle of the bait, but I prefer just to leave it out, just so the end of the hook doesn't get stuck on any of the plastic and dull it, or just not free to be hooked by a fish. So that's what I do, and hopefully we can get on casting actually every 10 minutes kind of to the same spot. At the start you can cast to different spots to kind of find the fish, but once you find like bubbles on the surface, or you cast to one spot and you see bubbles because that's maybe they're feeding on the bait that just dropped down there, keep casting there because it's going to keep drawing more fish in, and that's what's been giving us bites. Like for example, I've hooked, like since I've been here, 3 fish, and the guys across from us, there's 2 anglers and each one of them's only hooked like 1 fish each. So this method's really paying off, casting in the same spot, probably reeling in every 10 minutes, and just using the same method I explained earlier. And another thing is not to make the tip of your rod too tight to the lead, because, or to the hook bait, to the lead of where the bait is for where the fish is going to take it up. Because if it's too tight, the carp's just going to bounce off the hook because there's too much tension and there's no give. Whereas when you have a little bit of slack line, it'll actually, the carp will hook itself when it swims away, and then you'll hook more fish and won't lose as many fish. So that's kind of what I learned from this session. Anyways, we're gonna probably catch one more fish and then head out. But it's been a good session, and hopefully you liked the video. And yeah, man, we'll keep going and keep finding new fishing spots. So see you guys in a bit.